Alright, today we're going to show you how to set up a fluid flow analysis using ANSYS Fluent. Alright, so we're going to start by clicking the Fluid Flow Fluent option on the left drop-down toolbox. You can click the very bottom there and rename it. In this case, we're going to rename it Steady Cylinder 2. Alright, up next you're going to click on the Geometry option. Second option down is called New Design Model or Geometry. Go ahead and click on that. It'll take a second or two to open. Once we open this, you have the option on the left tree outline here. You can click on X. Alright, we're going to click on the XY plane. Up in the options, you can click the New Sketch button. Here we're going to select on Circle. Click on the origin. We're going to dimension it using the diameter. Click on the outside of the circle again. Click somewhere else. You can go down to Dimensions, D1. We're going to call this one 1 meter. Go back to Modeling, click on Sketch 1. And we're going to go ahead and click Concept up on the top, hit Surfaces from Sketch, go to Base Objects, hit Apply, and be Sketch 1. Alright, it should pop up on your tree outline called Surface SK1. Go back to the XY plane. We're going to do this all over again, hit the new sketch plot. This one's going to be called Sketch 2. Once again, we're going to go back to Sketching, open up the Circle option, click on the origin. We're going to make this one quite a bit bigger. Once again, define it. We're going to go back to Modeling, hit on the diameter, click on the outside of the circles, click somewhere outside of the circle, hit Dimensions 1. Again, this one we're going to make 64 meters. Alright, so once again, go back to Modeling, click on Sketch 2 this time, hit Concept, and Surfaces from Sketches. Click the base object as Sketch 2 and hit Apply. Alright, we're going to click on Add Material, switch it over to Add Frozen. Make sure you do that. Click on Generate with a little lightning bolt. This will generate our two bodies, two-part sketch. We're going to go up next to the File and hit Create. Go down to Boolean. On our operation, we're going to hit Apply and then switch operation from Unite to Subtract. First target body, we're going to click on the outside circle, hit Apply. On the tool bodies, we're going to go ahead and hit Sketch 1 in the tree outline, zoom in on our plot, and make sure it is in fact on the inner circle. And we're going to go ahead and hit Apply on the tool bodies. And now we're going to go ahead once again and hit the Generate. Zoom in on your circle to make sure that it in fact is cut out on the main graphics. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit New Sketch. It should pop up as Sketch 3 on the XY plane. We're going to go to Sketching again. This time we're going to hit Line, click on the very top of the circle, scroll all. Alright, we're going to hit on Modify, hit the Trim option. This allows us to get rid of the excess line above and below the circle. We're going to go ahead and trim that out. We're going to zoom all the way in onto our inner little circle cutout here, and we're going to click the sections of the line that are in this inner circle. This allows us just to have the lines on the actual circle part and not in the cutouts. Alright, we're going to go back to the modeling. We're going to hit Concept, Surface from Lines from Sketches. Alright, we're going to hit Sketch 3, hit Apply for our base objects. And then we're going to go ahead and generate once again. This should just give us on our 3 parts, 3 bodies, we should have the surface body and now our 2 line bodies options. Alright, so we just created our geometry made up of the sketches with the circles and the line cut out. Now we're going to go to Tools and we're going to go down to Projection all the way down there. So we're going to go ahead and click from the edges. Zoom in. This part we're going to select our 2 lines that we just created, truncated out from here. So we're going to select the 2. So what we just did is we've created the geometry necessary for the fluid flow. Now we're going to be making the projection that the fluid flow will run off of. So once again, we're going to go ahead, click on Edges. Zoom in here, click on our 2 vertical lines and hit Apply. Up next, we're going to click on Targets. Make sure to select the surface body. Now we're going to have to go up to the top of the screen and click from surfaces, not from edges. And now click on the surface body and hit apply to the target. Alright, we're going to go up and hit generate once again. This creates our projection number 1. So we're going to go ahead and save this. This is very important because we don't want to lose it. That was a lot of work we just put into it. We're going to call this one Steady Cylinder 3. Nope, yep, 3. And go ahead and close out of our design modeler. Okay, now we're going to go to mesh. This creates the mesh that will analyze the fluid flow. Give it a second to open. This may take a little bit. This is going to actually allow us to model the fluid flow around the inner circle as a relation to the fluid going through the outer circle. Okay, so we've opened our meshing window. It should come up with a figure that looks like this. We're going to go ahead and click on the Z axis. This allows us to look at it directly on. We're going to click on mesh. We're going to go ahead and hit insert. And we're going to click on face meshing. We're going to go ahead and select the planes that we need to apply the geometry to, the mesh to. So we're going to click on the left surface, control click the right surface, go down to geometry, and click apply. This applies the mesh to those two faces, as we should see. And we're going to go ahead and hit update. This applies the mesh. It should look something like this figure here. We're going to go insert, sizing. This allows us to change the mesh dimensions. We're going to go down to, we're going to click on the edge of the circle and switch to from edges. Click both sides of the circle and we're going to go to geometry and hit apply. So now we're going to go down and change behavior from soft to hard. And we're going to change type from element size to number of divisions. We're going to update divisions from 1 to 96. Alright. Once we change our numbers from 96, we're going to go back up to the update and update our mesh so it has a lot more divisions in it. Alright, once again we're going to go back to mesh, click on mesh, click on insert, and once again click on sizing. This time we're going to be doing the sizing along those two vertical lines that we inserted. So we're going to click on the top one, we're going to go ahead and apply on the geometry, go down to behavior once again, change behavior from soft to hard. Click on type from element size, once again to number of divisions, and update that to 96 again. Alright, we're going to go down to bias type, switch from no bias, not to the option he selects here, but we're going to go back and change that. Go to bias factor, switch that to 460. So we're going to click on our bias type again and select the top option. This allows the spacing to change from proportionally to as you decrease in diameter around it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit update on the mesh. Give it a second to update. Once again, we're going to do the same thing, but this time for the bottom line. So we're going to insert, sizing. We're going to click on the bottom portion of the line this time, hit apply to our geometry. Once we do this, we're going to do same, switch our type to number of divisions, update that to 96. Change behavior from soft to hard, and change bias type. This time, instead of going for the top option, we're going to update the bias factor, and we're going to switch that bias type from the top function to the second option down. Once again, to keep it proportional to the decreasing diameter size. We're going to hit update on our mesh, give it a section. It should give our mesh a uniform look like this. Alright, as you can see, we've created the mesh that allows us to analyze the fluid flow around the inner circle in relation to the outer circle. Having more mesh development allows us to have a higher accuracy, but requires more computational abilities. Alright, now that we've created the mesh, we're going to go back to our model in the outline tree here. We're going to select it. This allows us to name the different elements. We're going to click on the left side, go to create name selection. We're going to name this one Far Field 1. That's the name for the left side of the circle. We're going to do the same thing for the right side of the circle. Once again, click on it, go down to create name selection, and we're going to name this one Far Field 2. Alright, once we do this, we're going to hit OK. Okay, now that we've done the two outer circles, we're going to go in and do the inner cylinder. We're going to click on both sides of the cylinder. Once again, name selection. This one we're going to change to cylinder wall. This is the last thing we need to do while setting up the mesh. So now that we've named all our components, we're going to go ahead and save our mesh. Once again, updating it one more time to make sure that it is all nice and pretty. So we're going to save this element, save project, and now we're going to go ahead and exit out of the mesh setup. This is everything we're going to be doing in the first part of our film. Next time we're going to go over the actual fluid flow analysis and how to set up all that. Thank you for watching.